"Touchdown," I mouthed, holding my camera steadily in place. Coach Tilton pumped his fist excitedly downfield, and I let the viewfinder stay on him for a few seconds. The towering oak trees that surrounded the Halverston Middle School athletic field were just beginning to turn color, and the air was crisp and cool. Perfect football weather. "Did you get that?" Tyson called over to me. I was in charge of filming the play from across the field, and Tyson Phillips, the other student manager, was getting the close-up. I made sure the mic was off and adjusted the strap on my camera. "Like you even need to ask." We like to compare video footage and make sure we got in everything Coach wanted. People thought being a manager meant standing around, telling the players what to do or filling the coolers with water bottles, but it was actually hard work, especially when Coach Tilton was in charge. Tyson was lying on his stomach, getting one last shot. The football players were piling up on one another as if it were the first touchdown they'd ever scored, and this was just practice. I sprinted over to Tyson and nudged his giant foot with my sneaker as he rolled over. "Show me what you got, superstar," he said, squinting up at me. Tyson was in 9th grade, and at first I'd been a little nervous around him, but he was really funny and down to earth. Sometimes I forgot he was 3 years older than me. I knelt down beside him, and we quickly looked at the playback. We had to be fast if we didn't want to miss anything, or get mowed down by the players. "Nice work, Soph," Tyson said, nodding appreciatively. "You got a good eye." "Thanks," I said, feeling proud. "For a middle schooler." He winked, and I crossed my arms and sighed. I should have known he'd tease me. I didn't really mind, though. Since I was only in 6th grade, it was a big deal that Coach had given me the job alongside a high school freshman. Coach usually only picked 7th or 8th graders to co-manage the high school football team along with a high schooler. But I'd lobbied hard for it. I was curious what it'd be like to be a manager. Plus, I was good at being in charge. I'd been playing sports since I was little. I was a hard worker, and I think I'd impressed Coach with my ideas for keeping the team organized. Honestly, it didn't feel that different from taking care of my 3 little sisters, Lola, Pearl, and Rosie. Not that I tell the guys that. I shielded my eyes from the sun and looked back toward Coach as he yelled at the players to run faster. But a flash on the nearby soccer field caught my eye. A super cute, athletic, smiling kind of flash named Sammy Cooper, a boy I'd known since we crashed into each other playing soccer back in kindergarten, and who happened to be in coding club with me. His cleat made contact with the ball, and whoosh, it sailed across the field, sending the midfielder scrambling. "Amazing," I muttered, nodding. It wasn't easy to impress me, but Sammy had serious skills. And even though he was focused with a capital F, he had a huge smile plastered on his face. I swear, I never saw him not smiling. Except apparently he wasn't that focused, because he turned and looked in my direction. Unless he also had supersonic hearing, there was no way he'd heard me compliment him, but still, I quickly averted my eyes. I didn't want him to think I was staring at him. Because I wasn't. Okay, maybe just a little. I realized that my heart was thumping, and I willed it to calm down. Clearing my throat, I turned to Tyson. "Feels like practice is going on forever today," I said. "Yeah. Coach seems pretty set on wearing the guys out." Tyson pulled a microfiber cloth from his pocket and wiped his camera lens. It was pretty funny how obsessive he was about keeping the glass clean. "Hey, I can stay late if you want to go," he said. "I'm going to have to upload these videos at the computer lab anyway. I can upload yours too if you want." "You sure?" I usually felt 100% focused at football practice, but I was kind of preoccupied today. "Coach wants the footage tonight, Tyson, not next year," I said with a teasing grin. "I've gotten a lot better in the lab, Soph. I only had to call the service desk twice last time." I raised an eyebrow. He sighed. "Okay, fine, 3 times. "You can always call me, you know," I reminded him. "One day you won't have a computer pro like me around. You should take full advantage of my genius while you can." Tyson chuckled and nodded. "Very true." He couldn't deny that I was better at the tech side of our job. I walked over to Coach during the next water break and took a deep breath. "Coach, I was wondering if I could—" "Sophia." Coach cut me off, his hand on my shoulder. His voice was deep and booming. He never needed a microphone, even when players were halfway down the field. "We're going to do another practice run. I need you to take notes on what you see. You're my second set of eyes." He patted my back like he did to the players when they needed a pep talk, and then strode across the field while shouting to the quarterback, "Blake, pull back to the 20-yard line!" Sigh. That did not go like I'd hoped. I jogged over to Tyson, who was rearranging cones. Never a break for us managers. No luck. Aw, man. Tyson shook his head. Too bad. He looked over at the players across the field. Looks like it's gonna be a long afternoon.